Okay, my present arrived and I started to open it. And this is how far I got. I was careful with all of the little pieces of paper inside, but this is the first thing I got. When I opened it, was this from Nora with a little stand, and I am thrilled. I have been wanting to get Nora to do some art for my art wall, but when I saw this, I thought it's very tiny for the wall, and so I brought it in my office, and I have this beautiful Omegavan jar that I've had all of these years in its own special place in my office. So I'm going to put it right here on the same shelf beside it. It's a perfect spot, and I see it very easily from my desk. I'm going to try to turn this camera without just dropping it on the floor. So you can, well, that's not so great, but here you go. It's a very special, this has been special to me for years, and I was telling Gray about it just within the last month. She wanted to know what it was. Alrighty, so that was the first thing I got when I opened the box. And I should have realized that I wanted you guys to be a part of me opening it. Opening the whole thing. But I didn't. I was a little slow on the uptake. So the next thing that I opened was my card, which I love. Look at that. Straight from the heart. My wonderful card. And so even though it made me teary, I'm going to read it out loud to you, just so you know how great it is and how happy it made me. Dear Brenda, this is a box that Nora received her Omegavan in years ago. I kept a few and created this one for you. The box is covered with hand-painted wallpaper our friend Margot makes. She gives me her scraps. The shells were collected at St. George Island, either by Nora or our boys, which automatically means they are precious. Inside are a few treasures I came across. As you know, Omegavan was truly a life changer, and we will always be grateful to you for your research and discovery during such an important time in Nora's life. Truly amazing discovery and the beautiful path it has paved. We will always and forever be grateful. Thank you for caring and your love and kindness. Loralee, Jody, Montana, Nora, and Sarah. You guys are just wonderful. Wonderful. And I know you know what it feels like to be sort of like, there's nothing I can do. What can I do? I want to help. I love these people so much. And I will always remember getting the phone call about Nora's arrival and just being compelled. It was so hard to not be there. It was so hard to feel helpless. And I'm just so fortunate that the family in Colorado had put stuff about Omegavan on the computer. And I found it. It was just lucky, and I'm glad, forever, wonderfully grateful that they did that, and that I stumbled across it, and that it's had an effect and kept that Nora girl alive and now she's grown up and she's just this amazing person. So probably one of the best things I've ever done in my life. Big deal to me. Thank you so much for the card. So it's going up here too. Whoa. And then I went ahead and unwrapped the box, and I was already feeling a little misty-eyed after reading the card. And then I opened this beautiful, gorgeous creation. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. And I opened it, and I found, actually this was outside. This darling little card. Happy birthday. Shine on, beautiful sister. Celebrate your wonderful self. We love you. We love loving you. Look at that. I mean, it's just incredible. Getting choked up again. Okay. So then I opened the box, and that's where I stopped. That's where I stopped. I'm like, cannot do this without them seeing my reactions. So you're in for it. Feel free not to watch it, but let's just see what I discover. And I know, Loralee, I know you found these things. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm here. I'm guessing this is an announcement from when I was born, but let me see. Mom and Dad are awfully proud and happy as can be, and when I ask them why, they simply say it's all because of me. My name is Brenda Thomas. I came November 11th, 1946. Mom and Dad are Mr. and Mrs. Howard Thomas. This is an antique, since I'm an antique. I love it. I don't remember seeing this before. I may have, but I don't remember. Mr. and Mrs. Pat Gerard. So this must be a letter or a card or something I sent to Granny and Pappy. Oh, okay, it's the envelope, and it's got an Auburn sticker on it, and the stamp cost a nickel. A nickel. Can you believe it? My handwriting has not changed. And this I'll have to show to my friend Janie, that we started meeting with Janie and her husband Craig, they went to school with us in Auburn, and we were talking the last time we got together in February. We've been getting together on President's Day about which dorm. And look at here, it's got the dorm and the room number and the date. So that is great. Now this is 1964. That's when I started school at Auburn, in the summer, not in the fall. So, oh my goodness gracious, that is a treasure. Okay. This is I addressed them also, but I had the wrong address, so who knows how long it took them to get that. This is a very different time in my life. I can't imagine what I said. This was written when I was living in Kingston Court, which means that I had already that I hadn't finished school. I had married and divorced Walter, and this is dated May 26, 1969, and John and I got married on May 24th, 1969. Dear Granny and Pappy, hello there. How are you both? Hope you're feeling fine. How's the fishing down your way? I know you two have been trying to catch a few. Everything is fine up here in Alabama. As a matter of fact, I have some good news. I was married last Saturday afternoon to John Patterson from Anniston, Alabama. He's a student at Auburn. Mother and Daddy came up for the wedding, and John's family was here also. It was a small, simple ceremony. We are living in my old apartment for the rest of the summer. John hopes to graduate in August with a degree in electrical engineering. He's a wonderful man, and I am so very happy. Hope everyone else down that way is doing fine. We are going to take our honeymoon June the 1st through the 7th. I would like to stop by and see you if it's okay. Unless our schedule changes, we will drive over to DeLand from Daytona on the morning of Friday, June the 6th. We won't be able to stay long because we will be heading on up to Quincy that afternoon. But we did want to get to see you. If this is not convenient for you, please let me know. Give everyone greetings from me. Hope to see you soon. So this was at the period of time where I didn't know, but Mom and Dad, I had 1 quarter left in school, but I had been working, and because I was on my own, and Mom and Dad decided to pay for my last quarter at school and to pay us what I had been earning so that we could live. And John and I, as it turned out, finished the last quarter of school together. We graduated together then in August of 1969 before he went on active duty with the Air Force. And that was a real gift, and it meant that I had my college degree, which changed so many things in the future. But we did indeed stop by to see them, and you may have heard this story, but you get to hear it again. We stopped by to see Granny and Pappy, and they were typically sitting out on their porch and everything. And I decided that I just had to take John fishing, since he had never fished there and I'd done that so much. So we went and got some stuff out of the garage. They let us get stuff, and we went, and that's when they had a pontoon dock. And it was kind of like, it wasn't where the old dock used to be. It was over to the right from that. And we got on it. Man, I was doing great. I was on the left front corner, and I caught a fish. And John had been casting and not catching a thing, and he couldn't stand it when I caught that fish. And he came and moved right over there, stood right next to me where I had been fishing, so he could, and threw his line out so he could catch a fish. And when he did, the whole dock collapsed. We totally broke it. His first time meeting them, we hit the water, and it wasn't like when we were kids, Jody, where you got to swim and they always kept it cleared out. It was like full of tall grass growing underneath the water. And I hit that water and I started yelling, "Alligators, alligators, snakes, alligators." John thought that was hilarious. And, we kind of like half walked, half swam back up to the edge of the yard and went up. We did nothing with the deck, with the floating dock. We didn't have a penny to spend on that thing. I remember John taking his wallet out, and everything, his driver's license, everything was soaked. So we had to go back in the house and tell them we had broken their dock. I'm sure it was a memorable occasion for them, like the first time they met John, and and they had to get a new dock. So I wish I could say in later years, I had enough money to send to them, but I don't think I ever thought of it again. But John has ribbed me forever about screaming, "Alligators, snakes." We certainly had enough water moccasins and alligators in the lake. So I'm really glad to have that. I don't remember having anything else. Okay, so here's a whole thing. Let's see what this is. Oh my gosh, this is when they took us up the East Coast. And we ended up, oh my goodness, I didn't remember what date this was. This is like 1966. And I graduated from high school in '64. All this stuff from visiting Washington. Pete was an aide for the senator from Florida then. He took me out to Georgetown at night, just the two of us, and showed me around. I thought that was really cool. And he took us down to the bottom, to the catacombs of the Capitol, where they had the catafalque that supported caskets whenever a president died. So we saw the one, this was 2 years after Kennedy was killed. Sightseeing in D.C. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Wow. I'm going to have some fun perusing this. And I'm thinking that this is the same year, although this is not showing it. So maybe I'm wrong. But I think this is the same trip that we went on all the way to New York. I wonder if that's right, yes. Because here is the map of Long Island. They had always wanted to take all of us up there to see, that's where they got married, that's where they lived until he went overseas. And that's, and Jody, you, for some reason, no, that was the Texas trip. I started to say you wanted to leave and get back home, but I think this was as far as they had planned to go. But it was amazing. Stayed in Lowe's Hotel, and years later, John and I stayed there. Oh my, this is from Pete. Oh my goodness. This is May 17th, 1966. Dear Howard and Evelyn, Brenda just called and told me that you were planning to come through Washington May 23rd. This is a great surprise. I've got 101 things I want you all to do and see. I'm enclosing several pamphlets which should be of interest and help in giving you ideas on where to stay, etc. The receptionist just called the FBI and a tour is arranged for you. My goodness. Tuesday, May 24th at 2 o'clock. This is very interesting, and I'm sure people will enjoy this one. Also, she called the White House, and a special tour has been arranged for Wednesday morning, May 25th at 8 o'clock. It's a little early, but worth it. Since more time is devoted to explaining and showing the rooms than in the public tour. Most all of the other points of interest, Washington Monument, Capitol Building, Lincoln and Jefferson Memorials, Kennedy's grave, etc., are easily found and not difficult to see, especially since you will be coming during the middle of the week. I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Please let me know if there's anything else that I can do. Love, Pete. The Rayburn Building is on Independence Avenue. My phone number's extension until 5. Wow. This is a real treasure. It was an amazing trip. And that time with Pete was really special to me. And I miss Pete. And I've missed him for a long time, and I always wished that he had told the family that he was gay. He never did, and he died from AIDS, and nobody really ever admitted it to me. I don't think Freddie and Andy found out until he had AIDS. And I wrote him a letter that Aunt Helen read to him, because at that point he had lost his eyesight and she was staying with him. And I remember staying with Teresa after the funeral that day, after the memorial service, and saying essentially what I've just said. It just makes me feel so badly that he didn't think he could tell his family about his life, that it was, his partners were not just roommates, and he had bought a house with this last partner. Things were very different then. But I was like, it wouldn't have mattered to anybody if he had told us. It wouldn't have mattered. He was the same person, same terrific person. And she said, it would have mattered to me. And she and Pete were so close that I was frankly stunned by her saying that. But then I thought, okay, so Pete knows the family a lot better than I do. And he knows how they would react. And so that's why he didn't tell us. And I was always sorry for that. I'd had a visit with him. I don't remember, like within the last 2 or 3 years maybe, and I'd had lunch with him and had gone to see his new house. And it was just the two of us, and I wish that he had known he could tell me. But we talked of other things. It was really, really good to see him. So that's part of our family history. So the younger generation, people like Nora and like my grandchildren, need to know that's a part of who our family was at that time. But for me, love is love. And anyway, this box is so beautiful. Look at these shells. Look at all the love behind all of this and the thoughtfulness. I'm just thrilled. And it's going to be within eyesight for me every single day. And I'm keeping things here, and I just want to thank you so much. I could never really thank you enough for the time and the effort and the love and the care and thoughtfulness that went into this. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't know what it was going to be, and this is just amazing. And so this once held Omega Van. Wow. Wow. So I'm going to give you a last shot of where it's going to be in my room.